Welcome everyone again to part 2 of my number 1 most evil anime villain. Let's continue our discussion with Johann Liebert. Okay, last time in part 1 I talked about the basic part of the story. So, and the phone again. So now I'm just gonna get into his actual development. Okay. Pretty much the first part of the story takes place in Dusseldorf, Germany, which is which is pretty much where the series takes off. But actually, Johann's development actually starts before that, because hold on, I knew I should have went over this before I started. Yeah, pretty much. What happened was his mom was being used for these by this group. I cannot talk for some odd reason. Anyway, she was being used by this group, and she was giving birth to twins. And the twins were going to be made to be one of the chosen elite. You know, the rulers of the new world, if you will. She gives birth to the children. And soon after that, pretty much their whole lives, they're pretty much, well, up until the age of 10, they're pretty much, why can I not talk right now? This is a bad time to not be able to talk. Alright. Pretty much, their whole lives have pretty much been, up until the age of 10, I've already said that, they're pretty much controlled. You know, they have experiments done to them, they have other things of that nature. They're pretty much being bred and force fed in order to be made to who's controlling them want them to be. So they pretty much get removed from their mother after a while. No, I'm actually skipping ahead a bit too far. Pretty much, Johann gets taken. No, that's a lie. His twin sister Anna gets taken away to a book reading thing by a guy by the name of what was this guy's name? Franz Bonaparte, whose actual name is Klaus Pope, but I'll get into that later. So she gets taken to these book reading things where the books that they're being read pretty much mess with your mind. And she witnesses something there that no child should ever see. She pretty much watches 50 people get massacred because they were drinking wine and the wine was poisoned, so they all dropped dead right on the scene. I probably shouldn't have done that right after I just said that, but oh well. It's on camera. But pretty much after that, she runs off back to where they lived. And this is the thing about Johann. He sees him and his twin sister Anna as the same person, just separate. So he, throughout the series, dresses exactly like her. You know, he has a wig with the long hair, wears a dress, all that. Hold on. Will you stop meowing now? Thank you. This is going to be a 3-parter, I just know it. So anyway, soon after that, they get sent to many different orphanages. And then that leads them up to the hospital. Okay, let's skip ahead now. No, let's not skip ahead. I'm getting ahead of myself. After the incident at the hospital, they get picked. They pretty much get sent to two different orphanages. Anna was sent to a regular orphanage, to where she would be brought up properly, and Johann was sent to orphanage in East Germany known as 511 Kinderheim. Now, they pretty much go into a bunch of backstory about Germany at this point because it was because before the fall of the Berlin Wall, East Germany was conducting a bunch of experiments to make orphan children super soldiers, if you will. And so that's pretty much what 511 Kinderheim was designed for. It was designed to turn orphans into emotionless, compassionless super soldiers. Then Johann shows up. And within a short time, Johann pretty much leads everyone there to kill themselves. 10 years old. And he causes everyone to kill themselves. And during the massacre that these people are inflicting upon themselves, he's just sitting there in a chair at the top of the stairs in front of a huge fire, just watching. Just watching. That's all he's doing. And when he's asked what he's doing, he doesn't say a word. He just takes an oil-soaked cloth, throws it into the fire, and the flame just... which is pretty much a metaphor for pretty much what he does throughout the entire series, because he really doesn't do anything. He doesn't do anything. He just adds the metaphorical oil-soaked cloth to the fire that is the rage human beings have within themselves and amongst each other. So pretty much he just pushes those little buttons and pulls those little strings that cause us to go insane with paranoia, delusion, madness, you name it, and we pretty much just kill each other off. That's his whole thing. Well, after the 511 Kinderheim thing, he pretty much... You don't really hear a lot from after that. You do hear a little bit of something what happened after that when he was 15 years old. Because apparently when he was 15, he started a money laundering thing, and apparently it made millions. People got rich overnight because of it. And then, out of the blue, he just disappeared, and everything fell to ruins. Which they said it was his experiment to see what would happen with money and adults. He did this when he was 15. That is amazing. And now skip ahead. He's about 20 or 21 at this point. I think it's 20. But he disappears for a while, and all the time he's committing the murders of the middle-aged couples. But then he enters the university where his twin sister, Anna, now going by the name Nina because she's lost all her memories, and he becomes the Friday reader for a very rich person known as... what was this guy's name? I'm terrible with names. Hans-Georg Schuwald. And he controls the Thursday Boy, which they hint at a little bit before then. But then he kills the Thursday Boy, making it look like a suicide, and pretty much becomes, through a series of events, becomes Schuwald's personal secretary. And I'm not even in the meat of this thing yet, and I'm already at 9.5 minutes. So I'm guessing this is going to be in 3 parts. So I'll see you all in part 3.